What are some things that are normal to men, but mind-blowing to women? Long car rides with another dude. Nobody says anything and nobody is mad. As a guy, I can go a whole week without getting annoyed by anything. And even when something annoys me, I kinda shrug and move on. I forget that I was supposed to get annoyed until my GF reminds me. My wife continually asks me, did anyone say anything about your shirt/hair/shoes/etc? No. No one says anything about my appearance. I have owned one shirt that I have ever been complimented on. My purple Yu Yu Hakusho shirt. Nice shirt bro. Thanks, bro. I'm 39. I started down an entirely new career path in mid-January. I've had horrible imposter syndrome since day one, but the new job feels good. My boss, who happens to be a woman, sent me the nicest, most complimentary email thanking me for being such a good addition to the team, and I sincerely cried because in all my years in the workforce nobody has ever appreciated me so much. I imagine to her it was just one of those things a good boss does. Hey, my employee did a good job. I should tell them. I sent it to my dad when he asked me how the new job was going. Even he cried out of pride. Men don't get compliments. And when we do, we really feel it. That's so cool. Good for you. I worry about what it says about me that my first read of this comment sounded very sarcastic. There was a book several years back by a woman named Nora Vincent called Self-Made Man that lists a whole lot of such things. She was a 5'11" rather masculine looking woman and so could pass for a man with a little make-up and wardrobe work, and went undercover as one for several months. She came out of the experience with a lot of interesting observations about how life is different for men and women. Not just interesting observations. It was such a shock to her that she ended the experiment early and institutionalized herself. She couldn't handle the shift in how she was treated once she was perceived as male, and then she ended her own life as a result of the depression exacerbated by the experience. When we were dating, I don't think my wife had seen a grower before, or maybe even hadn't heard of the concept. She seemed quite surprised the first time she saw me go from flaccid to hard. I can relate. Some girls become flabbergasted when they see that kind of magic. I went to a girl's house recently and she and her roommates were shocked that I didn't share my location with my friends. For that matter, two guy friends could spend the afternoon together, have a grand time, come home and have their respective wives be absolutely bewildered that they didn't learn anything about what's going on in the other guy's life. His life. I don't even know his name. It's like preschool. We were just hanging out in the park. Then we went over and saw this creek. So we built a little dam in it with piles of rocks and twigs. Then we saw a frog and tried to catch it. Then we went to the bar and watched baseball. Had a meet up with the boys for hours. Not a single photo was taken. Struggling to do something in public and no one coming over to assist you. I went for a long run on a day that got hot and humid really fast. I overheated a mile from my house and started staggering a quarter mile from my house. I thought I was going to collapse when an older woman ran up to me. I seriously thought she saw that I was in distress until she urgently asked, my orange cat escaped my house. Have you seen it? I replied that I hadn't, and she shuffled away. I thought that her lack of awareness was so absurd that I started laughing to myself. That rush of emotion gave me the energy to get home and into a cold shower. Priorities, my man. Her cat might be the one in a trillion that can't find its way home, whereas you might collapse and possibly die. So lol. I don't remember the birthday of my best friend of 12 years. I just know it's in January. Same. Best friend of 26 years. I know his birthday is towards the end of November. My other two friends, I have no idea. One is in the summer, I think. Yeah. I don't think any of my friends know my birthday. I sit comfortably with this. My mother thought me some kind of oddity, consistent with my Y chrome. I shrugged it off. Being single means no physical contact for extended periods. Or just me. I haven't been hugged in over 4 years. The last time I touched someone else was a handshake 5 months ago. Your old college friend Jason met the love of his life. Your wife/girlfriend asks you what she does for a living. What kind of family is she from? What does she like to eat? Who is her 8th favorite 18th century author? Your wife has no understanding that you don't know and you don't care. Not only that, you aren't even sure what Jason does. We don't really talk about our problems unless we need a solution and to understand the mental block stopping us from solving our problem. I've started doing this for my pregnant fiancé, support or solution 90% of the time now. It's just support and I know to switch my brain to that mode immediately. Wish I had done it sooner. I hated having to sit there thinking things were such a simple solution to fix and getting annoyed when she didn't want to listen to what I was saying. The expectation to help in certain situations, especially as a big guy. I went to a retirement party for a person I never met before, invited by a friend. Literally minutes after I showed up, some random lady came up to me and told me to come with her because she needed something carried somewhere. After I helped the woman above, I remember my female friend was kinda surprised that this woman just demanded I help her without knowing who I was at all. I don't mind helping. On some level it's nice knowing that I look strong enough to help people do things they physically can't. But this happens all the time, which also surprised her. The ones who ask, I'll usually just do it. I don't mind. The ones who demand I help them, I get really annoyed. Occasionally even angry. It's not just that they want my help, but if they could at least have the courtesy to be nice about having me help them out for free. No. Being a D about it? How can it possibly be that difficult for them to be a decent human being? That we don't socialize/talk/bond with other guys in the bathroom. No talking in the bathroom. You go in, take care of business, wash your hands, and get out. No standing next to another dude at the urinal, unless you have no choice. Women's behavior in the bathroom is considerably different than men's behavior, or so I've been told. For women the bathroom is the makeup and mirror room that also happens to have toilets. When my wife and I were in the airport last, a large group of Korean high school students had walked up as we went to use the restroom. In the men's, it was silent. Among 15 high school boys queued up for the stalls. There was occasional checking of phones and nods to other friends lining up. My wife described the ladies as the opening scene of Carrie. Clothes were flying up and down and being traded as half the girls changed. Excited conversations continued in, between and then simultaneously out from stalls, while girls doing their makeup occasionally turned from the mirrors to comment. A leader-looking girl was doing knocking rounds of the stalls and passing through sanitary products. Another girl gave my wife a quick bow and apologized for the bustle. I suddenly want to see a YouTube video of men acting that out in the men's room. It sounds amazing. Not being complimented for years, and on the rare occasion we do receive a compliment, we remember it for years. Had a cute coworker tell me I smelled good several years ago. I don't know what it was that she smelled, so just to be safe I've been using the exact same deodorant, shampoo, body wash, beard wash, and face cream ever since. Men just naturally have a level of strength that surprises women. Testosterone is a hell of a drug. For example, my wife has been going to the gym for a while now. She's noticeably stronger now, and it's awesome for her. I actually commented and complimented it the other night. But me, a dumpy 45-year-old man whose exercise is walking and carrying groceries, I'm still stronger than her, just because I'm a guy. That blew my mind once. I was practicing some takedown moves with a woman. She's serious about her fitness, and is pretty strong. And I don't mean pretty strong for a woman. Granted, so am I. But I still expected to have to put up a little fight. When I tell you that I had to make conscious effort to put my body into the positions she was trying her hardest to force me into, I'm not exaggerating. I had to give myself up entirely and then some to allow her to practice the move. I knew there was a difference, but that was the moment I truly understood it. It's a little terrifying. Yep, Hollywood and such have done enormous damage to women, convincing them they even have a chance in a fight with a guy. It's not even close. If you are dragged into a grapple or whatever, that's one thing. But if it's at all possible, running away/avoidance is not just your best option. It's your only option. hanging out with a dude for years and trusting him with your goddamn life, but not knowing his birthday, where he's from, what he does for work, etc. We can move our wieners by clenching our bunghole. I just clenched my anus. Nice. I think it's safe to assume 99% of dudes reading this comment who didn't know this also clenched their collective anuses, and was, haha, buttholes. Your comment made me smile, so thank you sir. Annie, my goodness, you've grown. Urinals. I have, on more than one occasion, had to explain that no, if we have to go number 1 and number 2 we don't first use the urinal and then the stall. We just go to the stall and do them both at the same time. This is hilarious. As a woman I can say something that blows my mind constantly about men is being able to leave the house with no bag. Just like keys and wallet in pockets. Zero inventory. Wild to me. Keys and wallet are our inventory. I'll never forget the day I went to get an ice cream with my GF. And she randomly pulled a ref orange out of her bag and asked if I'd like to have it. Like, what in the question mark? Well obviously, who doesn't like fresh, room temp, oranges? But also, where the F am I gonna wash my hands after peeling and eating it? I don't want sticky hands all afternoon. If you carried a bag you could have had wet wipes in there. Duh. Having close, lifelong friends you only ever talk to every few years. Seeing your same mates like 3 days on a row and just hanging out and doing nothing. But you saw James yesterday. What are you gonna talk about? I dunno babe. Cars? He's my mate, I'd see him every day if I could. I'm 39 BTW. What does James do? I dunno, does he have a GF? I dunno, how old is he? No idea. I found out one of my best friends has a girlfriend when he asked if I can help him and his missus move. Apparently they'd been together for about 2 years and she was also 6 months pregnant. And for all you know she's still pregnant to this day. From what I'm constantly told, the size of our standard pants pockets is mind-blowing. Going a long period of time without sex or a relationship. For some reason, women think it's easy for men to find someone. They think there is someone out there that would do it, or we can just pull women at will. My GF is constantly worried that other women will flirt and hit on me. And I'm like, honey, beside you, barely any women don't even look in my general direction. Apostrophe. My brother's girlfriend always makes him promise not to hook up with any other women when we go out drinking or to gigs or whatever. In her mind we walk into a bar and hordes of attractive women descend on us and we have to fight them off and use all our willpower not to try and F them all. I can't remember the last time I spoke to a woman on a night out. Women are paying absolutely zero attention to a couple of out of shape guys in our mid-30s. They just think we experience attention from the other sex the way they do. If you're not very good looking, women will usually pay zero attention to you even in flirty places like clubs. I bet most would be astonished by it if they could live one day as a man. Same in reverse of course. Not go to a doctor between ages 15 and 50. They just tell me to drink more water even though I drink a gallon a day lol. I'll go when I'm dead. Erection equals / equals aroused. It boggles their mind that just cause a guy gets hard doesn't mean he is ready to go. Sometimes it just happens. The complete F mystery that is flirting. The anxiety of approaching someone you're interested in and making the first move. Straight women act like it's nothing, but I have known B women who get as anxious as any man who approaches a woman. Getting kicked in the balls. Knowing that when you shake hands with another man, that when he squeezes your hand he is sizing you up. Deciding whether or not he could take you in a fight. Understanding that being told, be yourself is the equivalent for women of he'll like you for your personality. If you see a woman, let's say at work, openly crying, she may be having anything from a tough day to having suffered a serious personal loss. Whereas if you see a man doing this at work, he's probably 6 minutes from suicide. Not having the freedom to cry is so worked into the concept of manhood that most men can't, even when they want to. Understanding that being told, be yourself is the equivalent for women of he'll like you for your personality. I'll add to that being told you'd make a good husband. It might be said with good intentions. but it emits the "but you're not attractive enough" or for when I decide to settle down. I've been hit with "you'd make a good husband" so much by women that I've become absolutely demoralized. At least for the women in my life. Doing something stupid for the sake of being stupid. I know it's stupid. It doesn't make me a stupid person, depending on what it is. I'm taking a calculated risk for fun. Ah yes. The what's the other option /button lead to /4.